just in words. I want to say big thank you to all of you, and may God bless us all.
Okay, so that was him almost crying there. I mean, it did take responsibility, but he was almost crying there when he apologized and took responsibility. Some are calling for a sack. Yeah, those conversations are rife as well. Some are calling for a sack. Well, really, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? So many conversations as it relates to this trending story. But what are your thoughts? Again, the tweet that JAMB put out also stirred reactions. I should mention that. How could I forget to mention that? The tweet that JAMB put out, their X handle at JAMB HQ, and they said, "Man proposes, God disposes." That line in itself has got a lot of tongues wagging, a lot of people are mad. What do you mean someone committed suicide? What do you mean by, man proposes, God disposes? This is man's inefficiency, I beg your pardon. Why are we dragging God into all of the conversations? Anyways, the tweet reads, "It has been established that a technical glitch affected 157 centers out of the 887 centers in the 2025 UTME. This was basically responsible for the general low performance of the candidates scheduled to sit the examination in those centers. And as such, all the affected candidates will be contacted to reprint their examination slip towards retaking their examination starting from 16th May 2025. Constance Irele Mega asked a question on our WhatsApp group. Who will be responsible for financing the students who are to retake this examination? That's another talking point. Some people, we're talking about the Saka River abduction. I hear some people who were abducted amongst the 16. There were candidates who were going to sit for JAMB. So some people had an accident. Remember? Some people are traveling long distances. That's what I'm trying to point at. Who's going to pay transportation? Who's going to pay logistics? Who's going to... so many questions. Anyways, let's move on now to my second big story, because if you let me, I might just talk about JAMB for the 3 hours that you and I will be here on Hard Facts. But my second big story has got a little bit to do with politics, and I want to do a lot of postulations and a lot of... what's it called now? I want to do political mathematics in the show. I want to add 1 plus 1, do the YDX, algebra, and all as it relates to politics. So yesterday at plenary, the upper chamber, the FCT was a subject of discussion because the president had submitted, I think, another supplementary budget for the financial year 2025. And it was supposed to, release more money to the FCT minister to continue in his developmental projects. And there was an argument. And in that argument, about 2 or 3 senators, specifically Senator Ningi, remember the guy who was suspended, and Senator Akpabio, heaped praises on Wike. Now, after the break, I'll tell you about these praises, and then we will now bring it back to River State. And there's a reason I'm bringing it back to River State. I'll tell you what the postulation and calculations are that I'm trying to do on the show, and I'm throwing the question at you, and I'd like to get your answers. But please do stay with 92.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. Info. Good afternoon to you. I am Kalada Kurubatabo. I believe we're live on Facebook now, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. We're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. And so we're looking at the big stories. And I was on the second big story talking about praises heaped or poured on Nyesom Wike, FCT Minister of the wonderful works and the developmental strides in Abuja. And according to the story, Senator Ningi, Senator Akpabio, who's the Senate president, they were keeping praises. Even Oshomole was seen on camera. I think I saw that on YouTube as well, talking about how Wike has done some great things in the FCT. So I'm going to read some of these things, and then I'll come back to River State. I'll tell you why I'll come back. Just give me a minute or two. Now, according to this article, in a moment of rare bipartisan consensus, Senator Abdul Ningi, PDP Bauchi Central, stormed the Senate chamber on Tuesday by crediting the remarkable transformation of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory to a borrowed asset from the opposition People's Democratic Party Minister Nyesom Wike. Now, speaking during the debate on the 1.78 trillion naira FCT statutory budget bill, Ningi offered a glowing endorsement of Wike's leadership, calling it a game changer that has repositioned Abuja into the modern capital Nigerians deserve. Let's be honest, quoting him now, if not for the appointment of Nyesom Wike, Abuja would still be in the same sorry state it was between 2015 and 2023, a capital only in name, not in development, Ningi declared. Citing Wike's trailblazing performance in infrastructure, delivery, and urban renewal, Ningi held him up as a testament to the PDP's track record in grooming transformational leaders, even if they are now delivering results in rival political camps. Then Akpabio joined the conversation. Akpabio joined Ningi in applauding the minister's efforts, using the occasion to highlight the importance of bipartisan cooperation in governance. He described the FCT's visible progress as proof that competence, not party loyalty, should drive appointments and performance evaluations. I'm going to quote the Senate president now. A leader has emerged. He came, he saw, and is conquering. Okay, I think that's still Ningi talking, but I didn't see that for Akpabio. But I'm just going to skip that article now and bring it to River State. The reason why I'm bringing it to River State is this. A lot of people who are critics of the FCT minister are hoping for a time when he probably will lose some level of significance at the national level, which will give way for maybe the Fubaras camp or any other camp looking forward to 2027, right, to rear or show their head, right? Now, the question that I'm throwing at you is, politics is interest. If Nyesom Wike was against the interest of these lawmakers, whether he was doing great or not, there will be no praises heaped on him. Let's be honest, this is Nigeria. Let's say it as it is. You hardly see opposition or opposing parties congratulating themselves. You hardly see it. As a matter of fact, there was a time when, I think it was in 2023, when an opposition congratulated the winner of that election, and his party came out and gave a contrary statement. And almost were throwing shades at the guy who did the congratulations. That's Nigeria for you. So it means that, in my opinion, interests do align. Interests are aligning. And Nyesom Wike has got some national visibility. Now, the question is, how does that affect River State come 2027? How does that affect River State come 2027? And that's the question. That's the question I think I can ask from such a story, because YouTube channels carried it yesterday, showing Shomole, showing other people, praising the works that Nyesom Wike has done. I guess he's taking that name from River State, Mr. Project, up to the FCT. And there are those conversations. But I'm not yet to judge whether the projects are good or bad. I'm wondering, how does that in itself? Because a lot of people have argued that, he may fall out. And yesterday we asked the question, given that, or was it the day before, given that he was a part of the stakeholders meeting on Monday, if his requests are granted, how would he maneuver his support for Tinubu and still be a PDP member? We asked that question, right? So I'm wondering, if he has this national appeal, how will it affect Rivers State come 2027? And I guess this question is for politicians who are out there who are already planning and strategizing for 2027. But let's now quickly look at my third big story. 3 more legislators at the national level defect to the APC. 2 from Kanu, NNPP Kanu, and 1 from, I just forgot that state now. But the other one is from the PDP. So 3 national legislators defect, decamp, move to the APC. And there are talks of more people moving to the APC. The question is, what is attracting the bee to the APC? Is there honey there? Can you show me the honey? I want to know, because I don't know. And I'm not saying the APC is a bad party, but I'm just curious. I really want to know what it is. The other day we talked about how Patience Jonathan said, you know what, I don't have plans to return to the villa. It's time to support Remi Tinubu. We talked about it. It made the news on Monday, made the headlines on Monday. We've had more people since this week declare support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027. Now, I hear the calculations are for 2031. While that is very good an argument, while that could be the honey that is attracting the bee, really, what is in the APC that I haven't seen? So maybe I can also, leave Nigeria info and join the APC. I don't mean, tell me about it. I don't know. I want to know. So I'm going to the phone lines now. I'm going to open the phone lines and you tell me. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp 0809030616. If you're on Facebook, you can see me wearing the Nigerian jersey. I'm all for Nigeria. So all of these conversations are all for Nigeria. Talking elections 2027, talking JAMB, it's the educational sector, and talking defections, all for Nigeria, by the way. But let's come to WhatsApp, where I have this message. Those were tattoo tears. Those were tattoo tears. It holds no water. A child died because of his negligence. Some are still in the den of kidnappers. Good afternoon, Ogori from Port Harcourt. All right, Ogori. This one says, good afternoon. Maladaptive. I don't think Eric tricked. I don't think that's for me, right? Is that for me? No, I'm moving on. But this one says, JAMB registrar accepting there were errors which led to the massive failures after giving credit to this year's process of being free of malpractices, which is why the failures, and if actually the... Okay, I think you needed a full stop there, so I'm going to read it again. You say, good afternoon, Canada. JAMB registrar accepting there were errors which led to the massive failures after giving credit to this year's process of being free of malpractices, which is why the failures... And if actually the apology is coming from his heart genuinely and the tears are not crocodile tears, having seen the trauma their errors have caused the children affected, including a suicide, Professor Ishak Oloyode should resign. We have played too much in this country. Let it be with that one, but let's listen to Chima from Rumokuta. Chima, good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show.
Afternoon, Mr. Canada.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Canada, I am going to suffer for some other person's deficiency in a situation whereby you have been, maybe mobilized. And this thing that happened in JAMB simply means that this man has been frauding these students for the past 9 years.
What do you mean by defrauding? Yes. Now glitches.
Them because you know why?
Yeah.
You set an examination.
Yeah.
Right? You come and say they failed. Why they pass? It's fraudulent now.
But no,
you also fraud the parents of their money.
Okay, all right. That's an argument.
So to me, I said that the man should be probed. And if he found one thing that is not a photo this time on, he should be jailed. Because why it happened like this? Why he's crying now? Because people came. This is came. People shouted.
Okay.
And they wanted to look into it. He began to confess.
Okay.
So
all right.
Crocodile tears shows that he has been doing it.
So you say it's crocodile tears.
You asked a question.
Yeah.
That I think we know that how can another party begin to admire somebody, or maybe if you are not in the same term, about Nyesom and the what they call the lawmakers. I want to remind you that who gave Nyesom Wike Mr. Project was the vice president of Nigeria, who was an APC man, and Wike was a PDP. Let me tell you, a physical doing has no boundary. And what you have to understand again, if Nyesom Wike can be in PDP to support Tinubu, national loyalty is the third party affiliation.
All right.
You understand? So what I'm saying, essence is that Wike is a Puritan. It's a colossus. It's not somebody that.
But that's not the question I asked you. I'm not here so that you can call all those beautiful names for Wike. I'm asking you a question, and I think we should learn to go with the questions asked. The question is how.
Mr. Canada, my friend.
How you're not answering it? You're praising. I'm not here for praise singing. I'm not here. I'm not a politician. I don't care about your praises.
I'm not praising that what he is. I'm not praising him.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what he is. That's not the question I asked you. The question I asked you is, how does this affect politics in Rivers State 2027? That's the question. Yeah, it has nothing to do with whether it's a colossus or not.
The politics in Rivers State will still remain positively because Wike is still going to support Tinubu.
All right. Chima, I've got to go. You've answered the question. Emeka from Owerri, welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Canada, good afternoon, my central brother in the studio.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Canada, you see, on the issue of JAMB, Nigeria factor has came into JAMB. I'm not surprised. I don't want to dwell much on it. It's a Nigeria factor. After the news now, you will not hear anything about it again. Depending on the page or where the man situation is to the side of the government of the state. Let me leave that. Let me go to you. Ask the question whether this will affect this last election in 2027. See, people that spoke was rather to Shomole, a politician. Thank God they begin by saying, let me go into politics. Shomole is a politician. Nindy is a politician. All of them that are present in the FDP are politicians. Mr. Canada, can you go to the average street of Abuja, interview honorable people, those are characterized. Those people that they are honorable in the city. What has this man done so far? Is it better than others? I said, when I go with that report, I will take that report. But this is all your Jobole, television and the media and also and others every week in Abuja. And I will tell you that you take it.
So once again, Emeka.
They want to capture the
all right. They want to capture Rivers. Emeka, I've got to go. Thank you. They want to capture, but then the question is not about whether the projects are, once again the best or not the best. That's not my. I mean, I leave that for the politicians to argue. The question is, all of these praise singing means that interests align. If interests align, what does it mean for 2027? That's the question. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Ida from Ikoro, welcome.
Thank you very much. 2027, we know hold our life our hand. Now God hold our life. And I believe that time, God will give us a very better candidate. And that 2027 election will be very free and fair.
What do you mean by Ida? What do you mean by a better candidate? Are you saying, what are you saying? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What are you saying? What do you mean by better candidate?
You say people are defecting at the APC. Okay. On it there. After that 2027, army will be there. God will give us the best candidate. That's why I say we don't hold our life in our hands. God might do wonderful things to give us a better candidate that everybody will vote. Just like what happened in Rivers State when God gave us Governor Sim Kumara. When everybody come out 2023 to vote for him, he wins the 23 LTA. Did
everybody vote for him? Did everybody vote for him?
yes, Governor Sim Fubara win the 23 LGA. Ask anybody. Free and fair, Governor Sim win. And any party Governor Sim is going to, I know he will support Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2027. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win in Rivers State. And Governor Sim will also win in Rivers State.
All righty, Dad. Sorry about that. I guess we lost connection. Wala from Oigbo, welcome.
All right. KD, good afternoon, man of the people.
Good afternoon, welcome.
As you can see, what former barrister Wike had been doing to...
What do you mean by former barrister? Is
that
it,
that tells you the reason why this particular crisis here in Rivers State will not come to an end. Because he wants to control Rivers State so that he can use that avenue to also support Bola Ahmed Tinubu to win Rivers State. Okay? That is just the game there. But my own worry is this. He has done well for Abuja, but does that reflect to the people of
once again,
economically?
Wala, that's not my focus. My focus is this is big. I'm not looking at that. Maybe when we have a more in-depth conversation, then we can talk about whether it's reflected or not. The conversation is politics. So there are political interests aligning. That's my conversation. Let's stay with that, please.
Okay. The issue now is this. We don't know whatever game that is going on here in Rivers State so that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win Rivers State. But as far as economic life is concerned, we are after our own belly. That is when we will decide the next person to vote.
So you think the people would
people's vote?
Yeah. Oh my, sorry. I was trying to have a conversation, but the calls keep dropping. I wonder why. I've got Victor from Mile 3. Victor, welcome. It's good to have you. Let's talk, please.
KDB, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
All right. KDB, the question you asked concerning the FCC minister is what I want to actually answer. We definitely, those who are actually residing in Abuja, are definitely going to align with such developmental projects. There is no doubt about that. But this politics of trying to make your name known, make yourself known, you are supposed to also attract this same kind of relevance to where you are, which is your River State. But as we speak today, none of such developmental projects are you actually attracting to your state of land, to your state, I mean to say. Now, the question is, this kind of politics has been played before by Jonathan. A situation where he felt he should actually, do those who he feel will bring him to power. Because what the FCC minister is doing now is not even towards 2027. It's after 2027. So this politics of trying to favor those who you think will bring you to power has been played before. Has it turned out?
So you're saying anything can happen between now and 2027, and he's out of the game.
Not even 2027. From now to 2027, for sure we know that Tinubu is going to pick up the vote in Rivers State. That one is certain. We are saying
why do you say it's certain? What makes it certain?
After 2027, and that politics has been played before by Jonathan. It didn't favor him. It will not favor him this one.
All right. If you say so, Victor, thank you very much. But I've got Susie from Erema. Susie, it's good to have you. Let's talk, please. Let's talk, Susie.
Canada, good to have you.
Yeah.
Well, the understanding of political philosophy and its trajectory is a thorn in our flesh. If you go to the primitive era, from that primitive era to Renaissance, medieval, scientific, today we are in contemporary era. You will understand that there is always an evolution. If you talk about the person of Wike bringing attraction to River State, vis-a-vis their movement to UK and all of that, you also go back to look at the history. This is not the first time Wike is handling a mantle of ministerial position in Nigeria. And to that extent, you will want to look at what are the records he has put in place before we begin to talk about his person without having an understanding of who the man is. This man is somebody who is conscious. Even he has been labeled that when he was a governor, he concentrated in Obiako, his local government, another error created by opposition who want to play his person down. I want to tell you, when was it?
Can we stay? No, let's leave all those even. We know those things you're saying. Let's come now to the question.
You say you know all of that.
Let's come. Whether I agree with you is not the problem. Let's come to my question. My question is,
your question have a foundation, and if you don't attempt to mention those foundations,
I don't have time for you to mention. I don't have time, so just quickly move straight.
So I want to tell you that from what he has done before in a traditional summary, today it is not going to do anything different by attracting values to River State.
All right then.
Where you have an eyebrow raised is the issue concerning River State today. You know that we have it all. Even before this,
I'm not. So Susie, I don't know if you heard me correctly. I'm not talking attraction of projects or economic issues. I'm saying politics. I'm talking politics. 2027 politics. That's what I mentioned. So can we stay with that so I can move on?
That is what I'm also looking at.
Okay, maybe I'm not understanding you.
How would his steps and movement affect River State? You said that. Perhaps you do that in abstract.
Okay.
I listen to you very well now. It is to that extent I want to answer. How he's being even in the presidency will affect River State even in 2027.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether it affects the person you thought or you don't think. But the issue here is that presently his position being with President Tinubu has affected River State. So you can use that as a premise to understand that 2027 is not going to be different.
All right.
Over 27 to 30% from River State amounting parastatus to River State in Abuja.
All right. Thank you, Susie. Susie, I've got to go.
His position is going to make us and not to mark us.
It's not about make. It's not okay. Anyways, thank you, Susie. I'm talking politics, not about making a mind. But let's see Facebook before I go back to Wisdom calling from Omuma. Cosmas Oyeneke on Facebook says Nigeria is a comedy. That same technical glitch that happened to 2023 election, I'm going to remove what you described it as, repeated itself on JAMB. What a country. Akum Bundu Godson Ujunwa says, talking about JAMB, absolutely, I also agree with the candidates that the candidates seeking total cancellation as JAMB admits errors. And Frank Alfred says, on the defection, I think our politicians lack proper knowledge of what politics is all about. They don't understand the vision of party politics, or they may not have. President Wike will further divide PDP come 2027. Now, let's listen to Wisdom calling from Omuma. Wisdom, it's good to have you. Welcome on the show.
Yeah, good day, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you.
All right. First, I sympathize with the family of the lady, the JAMB candidate
that committed suicide, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Suicide.
All right.
However, I listened to the professor, the chairman of JAMB, or the DG, and I want to say the technical glitches, they are safety as a factor. JAMB has operated for a number of years, and I expect it takes them 1 year to prepare for JAMB. And I agree that I expect ordinarily every agreement to be put in place. The internet, equipment, logistics, everything they need to conduct free, fair, credible exam. But it's most unfortunate. That's like my concern. I've heard the news where Wike and the federal minister of education has said from next year, Wike is going to be CBT exam. With due respect, I want to advise, if we speak on and be telling Nigerians technical glitches and all sorts of stories, if we are not ready in terms of equipment, facilities, internet, reliability, logistics, let them know.
But seriously, yeah. These things still happen. I mean, it happens even in the most developed countries. I think the other day I was going through a celebrity's Instagram feed, and I realized that even in Europe there was no lie. They seized the power for a couple of hours. So even in Europe it happens. Technical faults happen. So I mean, for a developing nation, it's something that we should expect and accept. I don't know if you agree with them.
To go CBT, I think they are not ready. you have theory as well. I doubt if they have the capacity to do that.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, then. All right, Wisdom, thank you very much. Thank you for your thoughts there. Is it Ken from Ubumini? Is it Ken? Welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Good afternoon.
Canada, I think whatever thing the FCT minister is doing at Abuja, it is on his own benefit. Whether his action there or according to the Senate President and others who are hailing him is being positive for them, I think the signal in River State here is negative. Because what we are suffering today is what he caused to us. He was targeting his own ambition to the detriment of Rivers people.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand.
I'm trying to. I'm listening.
If we are talking about 2027, I think if he likes, let him join APC. Rivers people had already known that he is an APC member.
It's not an APC member, is it, Ken? Let's correct that.
Allegedly.
It's not an APC. There's no allegedly. It's not an APC member. It was in attendance of the PDP stakeholders meeting, and that in itself is evidence.
And was questionable.
Whether questionable or not, it's evidence.
He was not invited.
Even Senator Ningi yesterday said he's a PDP member. Senator Ningi is a PDP member. So let's stay with the facts, please. The facts are that Nyesom Wike is a PDP member. Say it as it is.
Okay, if you say so, I think Nyesom is only focusing on his target, which he missed last general election, that is 2023 election. So his next target is 2027 or 3031. But I want to let everybody know that those who are hailing him or those who hailed him yesterday, in future, they will, you know what Nigeria is all about. Thank you very much.
All right, Ken, thank you for your thoughts. Moving on. This one says, good day, Mr. K. Batibo, the registrar of JAMB, accepts blame for mass failure. That's not what he accepted. He accepted the blame for errors and glitches that affected JAMB's conduct of that examination. But you say, for me, the registrar's confession is nothing to write him about because the technical issues have been there before the JAMB exams. This is leadership failure. Let the registrar honorable resign his appointment on Ate Clinton West. This one says, good afternoon to you, Canada Kuru Batibo. We all can see vividly the inability of JAMB to do the needful and what it has cost. A candidate committed suicide for that reason. JAMB should be scrapped to give way for a formidable and credible examination, but this is my consent. Ipalibo Taylor Harry with that one. Ipalibo, thank you. This one says APC as a party has no plan to better Nigeria. APC has damaged the Nigerian economy, doomed future. Peace from Igbelu with that one. This one says Nigerians are mad. Okay, backstep. I'm going to skip that. He said we deserve to suffer even more and more. Now, tell me, what is the significant achievement of the APC, especially the hunger-prone administration that everyone lawmaker is running to the failed political party, which has plagued Nigeria with suffering, hunger, and starvation? To me, it's an obvious fact that there is a conspiracy among these politicians to frustrate the common masses because they go about singing their own praises, and it's false, fake, and far from the reality of the average Nigerian. Adire from Port Harcourt with that one. But let's look at this one. Good afternoon, Kalada. Okechukwu from Rumokoro. I totally agree that JAMB should be scrapped. Another person with that idea and with that opinion. A lot of messages, but let's come here. Melody Uniport. The praise singing for Wike is just eye service and sycophancy. This was the same man that was called Mr. Project, POS, Africa, etc. No matter what he does in Abuja, he can't beat the record of Erufai. Where is Erufai today? Okay, where is he, you ask? But let's come here. This one says, hi. JAMB boss has done well with his national TV press release. I commend him, and his cries show how emotional he feels. This guy has done well. I must tell you, this was a glitch that could happen in any system, and I do not believe in his sack. And he has done well by saying that those over 300,000 persons should resit the examination, and it's really a good one, calling for a receipt for all applicants is unnecessary and controversial. Parents should not take advantage of this glitch to say that the mass failure of over 1 million plus was due to the glitch, when we all know that most children of this generation don't read enough due to the social media and HK activities, distractions, and some of them believe that school is now a scam, and they believe on getting rich fast or faster method. You just put all of them in one sentence. Anyways, I'm going to try reading it. Say, even some of them, including females who are already in school, involved in HK activities while still schooling. Now, for those relating the mass affected applicants in the Southeast, this is difficult to read, so I'm just going to skip it. Anonymous, really difficult to read. I apologize. You're not using your punctuations correctly, so I don't know how I'm going to read that. But it just says, I'm of the view the JAMB should be scrapped by the federal government because they have caused frustration, pain, and agony to the Nigerian students seeking to further education. Also, for the FCD minister, and his performance in Abuja is a welcome development, and he's doing well, but may not add anything towards the 2027 election, as the political dynamics of the country will soon change despite the rate of defection into the APC. What's the hope of opposition parties? I mean, when you say it like that, what's the hope? What's their hope? What hope do they have? How are they going to topple from elections now, not illegally, via elections, rather? This is a good day presenter. This political prostitution and praise singing in Nigeria is the order of the day, that the sins of corrupt politicians would be forgiven. This is no genuine appreciation, rather than flattery to gain favor and political protection. All these have no positive effect on Rivers people because deceit will take the center stage at last. Nigerian politics is more of personal interest, not that of the masses. Elder Joel Adolphus from Degema with that one. And finally, this one says, Barrister E. Yeson Wike once invited Senator Godswill Akpabio to commission a project in Rivers State while he was a governor. I think we should look above party structure and start looking for who can deliver. Thank you. Divine from Oji. Is that Divine, my friend? Divine is good to hear from you. But I think I can squeeze in one more message. And this one says, National Assembly should ensure that Beavers and IREV are promulgated into Nigerian constitution, stating clearly that any technical glitch or any area technical glitch is observed, elections should be cancelled and election reconducted like JAMB is doing. Victor from Igbima. And that's a wording, opinion you've given. But I've got to step on the brakes. It's time for the business news. I feel like I've been talking too much. But it's time for the business news. And after the business news, you and I will talk something very interesting. Made in Nigeria. Is that a topic? I wonder. Should I say it's time to make Nigeria work? I mean, that's why I'm wearing a Nigerian jersey, by the way. Is that the conversation I'll tell you all about? To just stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info.